All right. Greetings, greetings. This is FBMD, Faith by My Deeds, and I am Carolyn Lewis. How are you doing? Today's topic is going back a little bit, explaining the importance of you understanding and knowing how your upbringing, your childhood reflects your future, reflects your relationships when you're older, how it reflects your expectations, how you see yourself, how you view a partner or marriage should be. All these things can be enhanced, trained, eliminated. You can change your thought process as you get older. So just because something happened or you had a certain way that you was raised as a child does not mean that you're doomed for that the rest of your life, because we are able to change ourselves, our thought process. We're able to enhance and build upon who we are and who we desire to be. So, one of the questions that I always like to know up front, I ask is, what was your childhood like? How can you describe that? What was one of your fondest memories that always take you back to childhood? So I want to see if an individual is close to their parents or one of the other parents, see if there was abandonment, for abandonment issues, see if there was abuse, love, closeness. All these things help shape you, because if you had abandonment issues, or if you was the other parent in the home, if you had to take care of yourself, your siblings, the house, and cook. If you had a lot of things to do and responsibility as a sibling instead of just being a sibling, your thought process is different. How you approach people is different. The way you perceive life is different. So, if you, let's say, let's do this first. If you was close with your dad, but your mom left, that's your nurturer gone. That's the one that was to teach you about you, teach you how to take care of yourself, and nurture you. Be there to help you. And the kids outside, when I'm scared, sick, hungry, that's that person that's there to protect me, teach me, guide me. There to teach you how to do the necessary vital things in life. Okay, she left, never came back, or she left and returned often and then left again, or if she just, popped up whenever she felt like it. How you view women, and if you're a girl, how you going to see yourself or don't want to see yourself can be depicted by that relationship. Now, person say, "Oh, you learn how to be a parent from your parents." Yes, but we also learn what not to do, what we don't want in our life. So if you got someone who was, and that's why I say just because a person was abused doesn't necessarily make them grow up and abuse their kids. Is that aspect there where it's possible? Yes, because we have a tendency, unless you are intentional about changing or being different, you would do the same thing you saw them do, being promiscuous or being hurtful with your words, or if you're the one who cooked, cleaned everything, make sure everybody was good, never took care of yourself, just took care of others, then that can hinder you as well, because you grow up not knowing how to take care of yourself and think you are a failure if someone else feels bad, or if someone else don't have something they want. Or you could also take the flip side of that and, well, my mom wasn't this or that, so I'm gonna overdo it. So you overindulge. So I want to know how you view, or what's your worldview and how you view the mothers of your family, or the moms, the wives, and what do you want to take from that? What you do automatically, and what you definitely do not want to do. All three aspects are important. And then vice versa, if you was with mom and dad left, or dad never came back, or he came back whenever he felt like, but he was just never a present um, person, teacher, protector in your life. He was this house, that house, that house. You knew you had other siblings elsewhere, but what? Or he just left and you never heard anything about him again, or you always heard everything negative about him. Whatever those things is, that's going to kind of shape your perception with men, or all men are this or that, and I'm not going to treat them right. I'm just going to get what I can get, or I don't want to be bothered with them. Well, if my dad couldn't love me and couldn't do right by me, another one ain't. So all these things help shape a person's mind. Is that across the board, everybody gonna think the same way? Of course not. That's why I was giving two or three examples of what a person may think or feel, depending on that. Now, resilient individuals and those who intentionally learn how to be the opposite can change all it around and not take that into their relationships, into their adulthood, and actually have a very productive life. But you got to know how to change it, how to stop it. You must learn to be optimistic and have some positive automatic self thoughts. What are your automatic thoughts? Are they positive or are they negative? You need some automatic thoughts. When something arises, it always all bad or never good, or I knew this would happen to me, or is it okay? I can deal with this. Let me analyze this. Let me see what I can do different. Where I have the capability of doing this. So those are some aspects that individuals must look into. If you have a Yeah, let's go with this one. If you have the tendency to always want to run and gamble, or always running, and men especially not taking care of home, you just always, well, my dad was not at home but the bills was paid. Is that really what you want to put your children through? Or is that something you want to think about? No, I think I would have preferred if he'd have been home, or if he could have taught me how to throw ball, tie a shoe, tie my tie, how to treat my mom well, how to whatever. And girls, like, watch dad treat my mom very well. I watched him make sure that he lightened her load at home. He always had a kind word for her. Even when he was upset, he didn't badger her with words. He never put his hands on her. So those are the positive things that you can learn from mom and dad being together and being kind to one another and having a positive relationship. So whether it's good or bad, what you take from it, what you do with it, is gonna come back to that childhood, unless you intentionally set and change and turn from the negative things, the things that you despise as a kid, because you can become the thing that you despise, or the person you despise, the characteristics that you despise. So, in that case, you must be watchful of yourself. Who are you? Who do you want to be or become? Trace back to the childhood. I don't want to always be out shooting pool, playing cards, gambling for this or that. Call home, hey, come get this money, and boom, there you go. And dad's still there. He may come home in 3 or 4 days, or come home twice a week, but the bills was paid. You didn't hear the silent tears, or maybe some did, of your mother because he wasn't there, or she felt like a single mother even though she was married or was in a relationship with him. The kids was only an outlet or guidance with her because she was there, but not knowing he is, or he was, making a contribution to how they saw husband and wife, or how a man is even in his absence. You're doing something, you're showing them something, you are making an impact on the children's lives if you think you are not. No, it's not always whether you think you can or you can't. You're right. Well, whether if you thought you did or didn't, you still did in your presence or in your absence. You made an impact on the children's lives. Absent, present, good, bad. You made an impact. Now, as an adult, how do you change, start over, re-innovate, rewrite yourself, rewrite your script, become a positive person? If you had these negative things, if you saw things you did not like, you must be purposeful about it. You must set goals. You must practice at it because just go, oh, I'm never gonna do that ever again. Da da da. No, learn a better way. Be able to catch yourself and have that positive self-talk. Correct yourself. Learn how to correct yourself. Allow God's word to correct you. Pay attention to not just the adults in your home, but did you have a chance to witness your grandparents? Did you have positive aunts and uncles that was married that you could see? All these other relationships within your family. What was the expectation from your parents on you? What was that expectation like? Did they expect, hey, I expect you to represent us well when you're in public? I expect you to represent yourself well. Don't say anything or do anything that you would be ashamed of or that you would be ashamed to do in front of your parents. Keep your grades up and do your very best. Or some may have been stricter. Your very best. If it's this, it's not good enough, do better. That may have been the outcome on that. Do your best and then achieve to then achieve, strive to do better. If this 75 or this 80 is your very best, now let's strive, practice, learn, yearn to do better. Was that it? Okay. And I'm not saying that's a negative thing because that is a positive aspect to have, to always want to improve, always want to do better than what you did. Okay. Now, if you recognize your best and your best is not where you want it to be, make it better. But your childhood matters. And these are the things that I will get into seeing. Well, why you say she has abandonment issues? She had trust issues. Well, did you give her trust issues or did she come in having trust issues and you trigger them? Sometimes you can re-traumatize a person. Oh, she was, but okay, now if you knew she or he had some issues that they've openly told you about, my dad or my mom, XYZ, XYZ, blase, blase, and then you turn around, time you feel you have that person's trust, and you're being sneaky or you did what you shouldn't have done or you don't give them the time or you know they're thinkers and their wheels always turning and you giving them reason not to think that you're trustworthy even though you may not have been doing something. Don't be asking me where I'm going, this is private. Taking your phone, turn it down. You acting out of character of someone who want to be trusted, someone who want to have open communication, someone who wants to be transparent with your mate. Don't do that. Why you check yourself on that? Why are you doing that? Why are you acting so secretive if you have nothing to hide? Trust, you ought to trust. Trust is not given, it's earned. No one should just trust you blindly. That's how you wind up with frenemies. That's how you wind up marrying somebody otherwise wouldn't have married. Stop telling people, just trust me. I've known you a few weeks, I've known you a month, a few months, but I know patterns. People grow and learn patterns. You tell them don't trust themselves. Trust me, don't trust yourself. When you tell them don't do this, don't do this, or whatever it is, but they've learned patterns, they know characteristics of people, and you tell them, but you just don't trust me. Stop it. You tell this person to be foolish when it comes to you. Why would you want someone to have to be foolish, not trust themselves, doubt their intuition, doubt what they've learned and seen throughout life just because you said so? Communication, be transparent with this person and see. You may not need to be together. If you feel like you need all your privacy, don't look at me, don't ask me where I've been, don't ask me where I'm coming from, don't ask me where I'm going. You need to be out to yourself. Really enjoy being single. And guys, a key word is she's never asking you where you've been going or anything. She's never concerned about that. She might not be that into you. You may be a place filler for her. I know guys used to thinking a woman is their place filler until somebody come along. But you may be her place filler. You may be her temporary talk to on the phone. You may be her temporarily go to after dinner and have someone to talk to until someone better come along. or to someone she's interested. I'm like saying someone is better than the other, but someone that that person is interested in. So be honest, be transparent. Don't cause a person to have that within you. And the more you tell a person, trust me, the less they person should trust you. Oh, just trust me. Just trust me. Don't worry about it. First of all, I'm not going to tell anyone it's okay to just move in. Guys, if you're moving in with that woman, you're giving up some rights and you're giving up some things, because if you do something she think was unbearable and she put you out, where you going? Did you let your place go? And ladies, don't let your place go to move in with him. If you're not married to this person, saying we living together to learn each other. People change after marriage. And the reason I say people, because how you perceive this person now has changed. This is not your spouse. This is the two becoming that one. You're one with this person. How you see them is going to be different. What you feeling and what you feel your rights and obligations are changed. So just living with a person prior to marriage don't mean you know that person, because you still got to get to know that married version. So don't put yourself up in a situation to where you got to get the law involved to kick somebody out, or you find yourself kicked out with nowhere else to go. Be responsible with where you invest your time, your money, your vulnerability, where you go, because you move in with them, you're vulnerable there, and she's vulnerable. Whoever owns the place is vulnerable. Now you're vulnerable. But what if you fall out? Where you going? Are we splitting things? You bringing on more trouble. Now, I don't want this to be a long drawn out video, so I'm gonna end here. But if these are things that you find that you're dealing with, that you are dealing with not being the negative aspects that you saw in your parents, so that you are having some issues dealing with, I just don't trust no one. That can be your problem. Your attachment, how you bond, you didn't learn to bond properly with others. So if that's a problem that you've noticed in yourself, that is an aspect you want to work on and change. Contact me, and let me put that contact right here. But do not sit and just suffer along and wonder why you can't, because I haven't before been able. You just might be plagued by that. I don't want someone that's come in and make it worse for you, or you just to trust somebody because I met them last week and I just trust them. I met them 2 months ago and I just trust them. I met them 6 months ago, and okay, you're building, you're learning them, you're still building some ground. But is that, have you built enough ground now to say you totally trust them wholeheartedly? So be careful with what you're doing and how you allow people to enter into your path, your life, who you choose to bond with, because those things are important. Okay. So I'm getting ready to wrap this up. I'm gonna type this here and then I'm out. But if you've heard something that you've noticed in yourself or within your relationship and you want to work on these things, by all means, feel free to drop me a message here, email me, or call me. FBMD, Faith by My Deeds, and we can definitely work on correcting things that you have noticed to be aspects that you don't want to continue dealing with, struggling with, fighting with, or have popping up in your life. I am Carolyn Lewis, and this is FBMD, Faith by My D. Remember, your childhood, your upbringing, your raising does matter. Positive, negative, it helps shape and form who you are. You have a good night now.